Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today we take on a big one. More than 40 mounts. One land. Welcome to Mr. Pandaria. Now, Mist is a departure from previous expansions which had raids and dungeons as your main source of mounts. Instead, in Mist, reps and world bosses give you tons of mounts. So 4 of the mounts from the 40 we're going to talk about drop from raids. None from dungeons. Hence, this is going to be a little bit different from our normal look at gold and mounts. We're going to start by looking at the rep mounts. Most of these involve the normal grind through the ranks. But there is one that is as simple as clicking on 40 statues around Pandaria. Each one giving you a piece of the history of Pandaria. And more importantly, giving us a massive chunk of rep towards the Lore Walkers. Click all 40 and the flying disc is yours for simply 30 minutes work. The rest, and there are many, will take you much longer to gain that exalted rep with, unless we talk to our friend Mystery Vazaya. Don't know who she is? Well, she is the Pandaran Time Walking vendor available during the Pandaran Time Walking event. During this time, we can use our coins that we get for that event to buy reps. These reps are account bound and can be sent to any one of your characters. These are available from the expansion the Time Walking is associated with. So, for example, the Ardent Crusade, we spoke about in a previous video, is linked to Wrath of the Lich King. So, were we in a Wrath of the Lich King event, we can use our coins to buy rep for the Ardent Crusade. Fantastic. Now, personally, I like to keep my main character collecting coins so that we can buy the Time Walking mounts. The rest are all rep farmers. All my other alts, they just rep farm for me. Now keep in mind, once you hit Revered, head to the corresponding Quartermaster in Mr. Pandaria and you can purchase the rep boost. And this gives you a 100% bonus to any XP or rep you get to do with that faction. So it will cut down the amount of coins you're going to spend, so it's well worth it. So let's take a look at the mounts available. Let's get into this. First up, the Order of the Cloud Serpent. Like most, there are 3 mounts up for grabs. We have the Azure Cloud Serpent, the Golden Cloud Serpent, and last of all, the Jade Cloud Serpent. The quest line to learn to fly these is probably one of my favourites, certainly my favourite in Mr. Pandaria. These are absolutely stunning mounts, and the style is very much tied to Mr. Pandaria. So the idea was you had to learn how to ride these majestic creatures. And yes, although it was the same style of, cooking quests and kill this quest and gather that quest, because of the theme around it, makes it one of my favourite dailies I've ever had to do. Now these mounts can be purchased from San Redscale in the Jade Forest, each costing 3,000 gold. Next up, the Golden Lotus. And these guys will give you 3 different riding cranes. The Azure Riding Crane, the Golden Riding Crane, and the Regal Riding Crane. Now, Joel, the Generous in the Mogashan Palace, located in the Vale of Eternal Blossoms, is our source for these mounts. The Golden Crane is going to set you back 2,500 gold. The Regal, 1,500 gold. And the Azure, a mere 500 gold. Now, we head to another of my favourites, the Shado-Pan. Not only do we have 3 very cool tiger mounts, the blue Shado-Pan Riding Tiger, the green Shado-Pan Riding Tiger, and last of all, the red Shado-Pan Riding Tiger. Once reaching Exalted, you gain access to a quest. Surprise attack. Complete this, and the reins of the Onyx Cloud Serpent are yours as well. Also, to note, the Shado-Pan cosmetic, giving your character the Shado-Pan hat. Sort of oriental style hat with the face mask. It looks absolutely stunning. I will say this, bear in mind that the character that becomes exalted with the Shado-Pan can purchase the hat, but the hat is tied to their respective armor type. So if you are plate, it will be plate. If you are leather, it will be leather. So you may need to get this on multiple characters. I did it on my paladin, and in the end wanted the hat for my monk. So my monk had to go through and get the reps all over again. Such is life. Now, we are located, obviously, the Shado-Pan Garrison in the Towling Steppes. The Red Tiger is going to set you back 2,500 gold. The green, 1,500 gold. And the blue, 500 gold. We're not there yet. We have the Tillers up next. Yes. We're going to just slow things down a bit. A little bit of a change of pace. We're going to go farming. And this is another quest line that is outside the norm. You get a little plot of land with a few spaces to plant some veg over time. And you expand this out. Your land gets more, giving you more spaces, and as you gain levels of friendship from various members of the Tillers, it's worth doing, I would say, at least on one character. Just one to experience it, but also because you can grow plants here that can give you various ores, and you can sell them on the auction house, which is most useful. It's just another little source of income. Now, the Tillers will give you access to 3 goats. Yes, you heard me correctly. 3 goats. The black riding goat, the brown riding goat, and the white riding goat. Now, these aren't enough for you, and I can't imagine anybody that would not be satisfied with goats. There is also the chance to get the Son of Galleon. Yes, the massive Mushan that sits on the riverbanks is also present. Now, if you just want the goats, which I can understand, I mean, that should be enough for anybody. They're located, as we said, in the Valley of the Four Winds. Little goats will set you back 3,250 gold for the white. The black is 1,500 gold, and the little brown one is a mere 500 gold. Now, Galleon, as I said before, can't be missed. He is huge. He is absolutely huge. He's sitting at 7164, if you prefer coordinates. And I would be very quick. Like the Shah of Anger, this is camped a lot. About 15-minute respawn low, so if you do miss it, might be worth just hanging around and trying to go for that elusive kill. Yeah, I've done this more than once and definitely not got this one. Next is another one that I would probably never get if it wasn't for the time walking. The Horde, the Dominance Offensive, and the Alliance Operation Shield Wall. Now, these are PvP focused. They're PvP quest lines, PvP vendors. Not something that you will ever catch me on. Yeah, if any of you have watched my channel for any period of time, you know PvP is not for me. Therefore, as I said before, this is one I'm definitely going to be getting via the time walking. Now, the Horde get quite a cool Armoured Wyvern, which I think looks epic. The Alliance gets a Armoured Griffin, yes. Yet another Griffin to add to the huge collection the Alliance need to get. It looks very cool, but it'd just be nice if the Alliance could get something different. Now, these are located in 2 different locations. The Horde gain their mount from the Dominion Point. Both of these are in Crashing Wilds, by the way. And the Alliance get theirs from Lion's Landing. Both mounts costing a mere 2,000 gold. No time to catch your breath, my friend. No, for we are off to the Timeless Isle and the Honourable Emperor Shao Hao. Not only will you need to be venerated with the Emperor, you will also need 100,000 Timeless coins. And there are a number of different ways to get these on the Timeless Isle. And if you are not restricted by time, i.e. it's not during the Mists of Pandaria time walking event, then I would say gather the coins first. Spend your time gathering the coins, because by doing that you'll also gain rep. And whatever rep you have gained is less that you'll need to spend your precious time walking coins on for purchasing the rep. It means you can then purchase more reps for different factions. More mounts! We need more mounts! Speaking of more mounts, while you are there farming for the coins, there is also a chance that you will see Hao Yan, the Cloud Serpent, flying around the upper levels of the Timeless Isle. Now, Mistweaver Ku is a servant of the Emperor and will grant you his mount once you have reached the levels of veneration that the Emperor requires of you, and of course, gained the 100,000 coins. So, not much then. As for Halun, the Serpent spawns roughly every 30 to 60 minutes, and it's around a 1% drop chance, and it is farmed constantly. So, you need to be Johnny on the spot, ready to pounce and kill it as soon as it's going to be up. Now, farming's not your thing. PvP's not your thing. You don't like being grounded on the Timeless Isle? Well, how about joining the world of fishing and the anglers, becoming best friends with none other than Nat Pagle? These mounts were once the most desired mounts for the longest period of time due to their water walking ability. Now that ability is still tied to the anglers, but it is mount equipment. They're still worth working towards Exalted with them. They have very few quests that, as you would expect, involve fishing. Like always, this never seems important until you lose flying at the start of an expansion, in which case you most definitely will want water walking. Now, both of these mounts are purchased from Nat Pagle. One of them being Exalted with the Anglers, the other is that you are best friends with Nat himself. The Azorwater Strider is the one from the Anglers, and it costs you about 5,000 gold. But seeing how Nat would never charge his best friend for the Crimson Water Strider. Instead, you just need 100 of Nat's lucky coins and to be best mates of him, and it is yours. Water Strider's not your thing? How about an Amber Scorpion? Yes, we're going all the way over to the Dread Wastes to visit the Calaxy. Yes, we're going to join the good bugs, killing the bad bugs on the western side of Pandaria. If you have killed enough bad bugs for the good bugs, then for 10,000 gold, this Amber Scorpion will be yours, specifically from Amber Smith Zik. Last of all on the mainland is the August Celestials. Now they have the most stunning, amazing looking Thundering August Cloud Serpent. Now there are 2 vendors for this amazing mount, one located in each of the faction bases of Pandaria. They're in the large open area at the very base of the 2 buildings. You have Sage Whiteheart, located in the Shrine of the 7 Stars for the Alliance, and in the Shrine of the 2 Moons for the Horde, you have Sage Lotus Bloom. Now, both of these mounts will set you back, or the one mount, but for both factions, will set you back 10,000 gold. Next up, we are heading to the Isle of Thunder. Yes, we are either joining the Sunreaver Onslaught or the Kirin Tor Offensive. Now, there is a slight quest chain that is required to get to the island, but it takes no more than 5 minutes. Now, depending on which faction you are with, you either get the cool Sunreaver Crimson Primal Direhorn, or, for the Kirin Tor, the Golden Primal Direhorn. Now, the Crimson is sold by Vashin Moron for 3,000 gold, and the Alliance is sold by Harun Lawsong, again for 3,000 gold. Now, while we're messing about, having some fun in the Isle of Thunder, let's take a look around for those world drops. Yes, we have Nalak, who drops the Thundering Cobalt Cloud Serpent. That's a world raid boss. Plus, while we're also here, we can head to the Throne of Thunder raid. Now, as we're covering so many mounts here, I'm not going to go into details with regards to the raid. I'll cover these 4 raids separately. Now, for now, we're just going to talk about the mount. First up, we have the Spawn of Herodon, which is a Direhorn, and the flying mount, the Clutch of Jikun. Now, shockingly, the Clutch of Jikun drops from, well, Jikun in the Throne of Thunder. It's around a 3 or 4% drop chance. And the Spawn of Herodon, again, 3 or 4% drop chance, drops from, well, Herodon. Yeah, kind of makes sense there, doesn't it? Now, going back to the World Raid Boss, Nalek the Stormlord spawns at 6037, if you like the coordinates. Now, respawn appears to be around 15-20 minutes, so it's about the same as the Shah of Anger. Good luck with that one. Deep breath, because there's no hanging around. We are going back to the Pandaria mainland. We have a number of world bosses to look at now. So we're heading to the Kunlai Summit. You can't help but have heard the laughing over that zone. And then the cry of pain as the creature dies. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the Shah of Anger. Why is it killed so often? Why is it being farmed? Simple answer is the Heavenly Onyx Cloud Serpent. Now, if you're spending time in Kunlai Summit, I'd also suggest popping into the Mogashan Vaults. Again, we're not going to go into details with regards to the numbers. Cover that again in a separate video. Instead, we are going to say the Astral Cloud Serpent. Need we say more? This mount is the absolutely amazing Cloud Serpent that is made purely from stars. Looks absolutely amazing. I have farmed this, I have no idea how many times. And the joys of RNG, the first time around a friend threw it, he got it the very first time. Oh, how I love the RNG. Now, as mentioned before, going back to talk about the Shah of Anger, it spawns every 15-20 minutes. Good luck with this one. It is normally killed as soon as it spawns. You need to be joining as well. When you hear that cry go out, it's normally too late. Urgalon in the Mogashan Vaults drops the Astral Cloud Serpent and is believed to have around a 4% drop chance. Or 100% if you're having to be a friend of mine. Next up, we have some more Direhorns. 3 more, to be precise. Dropped from the Zandalari Warbringers. Now, the Direhorn being ridden is the colour of the Direhorn that is going to drop. And there are 3 options on that front. We have the Amber Primordial Direhorn. We have the Jade Primordial Direhorn. And finally, the Slate Primordial Direhorn. The Warbringers spawn all over Pandaria. We have 1 in the Jade Forest, 1 in Kunlai Summit, 1 in Talog Steppes, and 1 in the Dread Waste. Now, all 3 colours can spawn in these locations, but there is a 5th location in the wilds, and that is purely for the Slate spawn. Now, it used to be you could use add-ons such as Cross-Realm Assist, but sadly add-ons like that no longer function the way they used to. I know Blizzard's spoiling all of our fun. So it's kind of just down to luck of the draw what you come across now. Now, I will say, occasionally while you are looking for these, you will come across a scout walking around. Bless him. Don't be too disappointed if you get one of these, because killing them does net you, or the chance to net you, a nice account-bound plus 1,000 rep with the various factions of Pandaria. And more rep means less time farming, or less time walking coins spent getting to Exalted. We are getting there, people, I promise. We are getting there. And before we head to our final area, one more place to visit. Now, much like the Isle of Thunder, if you never played Mists of Pandaria when it was current expansion, you may not even know this area exists. Situated to the north of Pandaria, to the north of kind of like Summit, the Isle of Bones is home to the dinosaurs. If you're a hunter, you can gain the ability to tame dino pets by killing the Zandilari Dinomancer. They drop the Ancient Tomb of Dinomancy. This book is only available for hunters and is bind on pickup. Now, the elites in this island will also drop giant dinosaur bones. They can be used in currency to gain the reins of the White Primal Raptor. While killing dinosaurs, there is a chance that they will also give you the primal eggs. This is a chance to spawn one of 3 raptors. The black primal raptor, the green primal raptor, and last of all, the red primal raptor. Then we have the final one, the big bag. Undasta drops the cobalt primal Dialhorn. Now, while we're talking about Undasta, he is the giant T-Rex that is situated in the very middle, the very heart of this island. We're about a 15-minute respawn. And the eggs we were talking about that give us our 3 different raptors. They are dropped by the Devil Saws, the Diehorns, and the Sky Screamers. What will basically happen is after 3 days, the egg becomes cracked. And that means that if you click on it, you have a 100% chance of getting one of the 3 raptors. Bear in mind that you can get the same raptor over and over again. So it's not just a simple case of collecting 3 of these and you are done. You have a chance of getting the same one. With regards to the Bone White Primal Raptor, you will need to go and see Kumar, the Bone Collector, who is located on the west side of the island. You'll gain the quest, a mountain of giant bones. That will require you to collect 9,999 giant bones. And then this mount will be yours. So yeah, in the case of doing that quest, which I would definitely say go and get that quest. Then while you're doing that, you will no doubt come across many primal eggs that will drop for you. 2 birds, 1 stone. Fantastic. To the Vale of the Eternal Blossom. For this, we are going to include the mounts from both Mists of Pandaria, but also for the new Corruption of N'Zoth that's been added in. Because we've had a ton of mounts that have been added. But first, the original mounts of the Vale. Alani, the Stormborn. You cannot help but have seen this beautiful Cloud Serpent flying around the Vale, even in its corrupted or uncorrupted form. Always flying around, but protected by a shield. It requires 10 Scry Crystals to be combined, which are an extremely rare drop from the various mobs in the Vale. Seems to drop more often now, I will say. May just be that I am there killing more things because of the invasion. But yeah, combine 10 of those, you'll break the shield, and then you'll be able to kill Alani. Now, another thing that seems to be dropping more often is the Zen Lasso required to capture the Ivory Serpent. This is only available during the Mogu assaults. And I will say, I put a macro down in the description below that will help you target and use the lasso. Because I've tried to do this before, and that mount flies crazy fast. So sometimes you can see it and it's already gone past you. So it's, yeah, the macro has helped me a lot. Now, deep breath, we need to carry on here. Hound Lord Ren is our next kill and drops Ren's Stalwart Hound. A similar model to Zen Lao, dropping from Aradi the Loyal. The Rajani War Serpent is not a drop per se. Instead, it is purchased using a pristine Cloud Serpent scale, which can be used to buy the mount from Zanku. This scale drops in the Gaolu halls, which is a complete and utter pain to get to. If you see this pop up, then it's almost too late because people are going to be in there. What I would almost suggest is having an alt sat deep in the bowels of these halls, right next to where the mob spawns. So as soon as you get an alert going off, if you happen to be in the area, you can just swap straight away to your ult and hopefully try and get a tag so you can get the kill. Then during the Mogo Assault phase, we have the chance of also finding and killing Hali, giving us the opportunity to get the Clutch of Hali. Again, like the other raids on this list, we will be taking a look at Siege of Orgrimmar in detail at a later time. All we need to focus on right now is the mad vision of Garrosh Hellscream that he commanded his engineers to create, the Kor'kron Juggernaut. Now this drops from Hellscream himself, so yes, you are going to have to go through and do the whole of the Siege of Orgrimmar on Mythic difficulty. My only sadness about that is that we did not leave the engineers long enough so they could actually make this mount flying as well. Now the Juggernaut only drops, as I say, off of Mythics, about 3 to 4% drop chance. I would suggest doing this on multiple plate wearers, as you also get the chance of the Tusks of Manaroth, probably one of the best transmog pieces in the game. Now that concludes our tour of Pandaria and its mounts. Now one thing I did miss out was that if you are on the Isle of Thunder and you happen to be a warlock, you've never done the Greenfire questline, I would stay a while and farm for, yes, a long period of time, but you may be lucky and get the book that starts the questline. Not interested in doing the quest? Well, how about the fact that the book is a BOE and can be sold for around 50,000 plus gold. I know on my server it goes for normally around 65,000. I will leave links to everything we've talked about through WoWMounts and also Wowhead down in the description below. So if you fancy, as we are locked indoors at the moment, spending some time farming these fantastic mounts. Mr. Pandaria has some of my favourite mounts. So yeah, you can be fully equipped in your quest for all 40 of these mounts. Good luck to all of you with the mount farming. Stay safe, and I will catch you all tomorrow. I need to go and lie down now. Have a good one, everybody. I'll catch you all later.